It is a windy afternoon, but we're gonna have to make do. So I told myself I'd come here, not realizing I got no idea how to get on top of this thing, but we'll work it out. I have found a path, or made my own, really. Mate, that was philosophical. Did you hear that? Wow. I think we have found our spot. Awesome. Time to set up. All right. Hi everyone. My name is Francesca and I am the reading writer. I have published 2 books independently. They are called The Divine Trial and A Merry Little Murder, which came out December last year, and the first one came out in February last year. I would like to create a little community on YouTube, in the booktube community. A little section there for myself, talking about books that I love, books that have just changed me, books that have helped me, books that are just nourishing to the heart, to the mind, to the spirit, that help you grow, books that are fun to read, books that are just entertaining, books that just get you out of your mind for a little bit or out of your life for a little bit. Escapism, I think they call it. I don't know how healthy that is, but whatever. Yeah, so I wanted to create this little community for that. I could have done that on Instagram, but I just thought YouTube was probably like the best option. It just seems more like I can do some long form, I can, you know, dabble a bit more in that. I feel like I can get more comfortable, you guys can get to know me a bit better, we can talk a bit more, you know, we can have a conversation. That's what this is about. Anyway, if you have tuned in to this video, it means that you would like to see some favorite books of 2024. Now, I have about 10 books that I'm about to share. One is a bit of a sneaky one that I've made 10 because it was a round number, but you'll see later. This year, I gave myself the reading challenge goal of 24 books. I have made that goal, and I am up to 26 books this year. And I'm actually reading the 27th with her. I really hope I can get done this year, but we'll see. Some of the books I don't actually have with me, and some I read as an ebook form or as an Audible. So I don't have the physical copy, but that's fine. I'll pop them around and you'll see them anyway. I picked a good spot, didn't I? I really hope you can hear me as well, but the wind is slapping me in the face. My goodness, see? When you speak too soon, look what happens. My goodness. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've had to move us because the wind, which was once my friend, has now betrayed me and kept knocking over the tripod. A little bit about me is that I am Christian. I love the Lord, and so that factors into a lot of my reading decisions. I don't like reading smut, so any of the books that you see here, any of the books I recommend, will not include smut, and if it does, it's a closed door situation, it's an insinuated thing, it's very minor, it's like any explicit scenes and things like that, I will either skip, I won't read it all, I won't even entertain the book, or I'll reference where they are and let you know. So that's just a bit about me. Back to the books. The first book that was my favorite of this year was Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine. This book was recommended to me by a booktuber, not to me, to a whole audience. I'm really acting like we're friends. She makes you feel like a friend. So anyway, her name is Kaliladi. But she recommended that book, she loves that book, and that book was a 5-star for me. It's very different to what I'd usually read, but I made that was a 5-star for me. That was, by the end of the book, I was rooting for that character. I was rooting for her. I thought she had such good development, like growth development. It was the first time that I had read a book that I actually found myself happy for a character. That sounds really bad. Well, no, what I mean is that the author had done such a great job at setting this character up so you could see her faults and see the terror that she'd gone through in her life, that by the time you get to the end of the book, you're just so happy for her and so overjoyed that you're just like, yeah, you know, good job. I'm so glad you've gotten to where you are now, you know. The next book is Never Lie, Freida McFadden. This is probably a common book that a lot of people have heard of already. I loved it. I thought, my goodness, why are y'all screaming above me? That's what I want to know. That's right. You quiet. Oh, the disrespect. Can you hear this? Literally right above my head. Watch it take a dump. Watch it take a dump on me. That's fine. Now they're quiet. Okay. So, Never Lie, another 5-star. I thought it was great. I I've heard reviews before that it's just people were bothered by the fact that they felt just deceived. That it was like one of those, oh, you've just deceived us through the whole book, and then you came up with this thing at the end. And you know what? Fair enough, I kind of get it. But I really liked it. Honestly, I liked that book. Now, my third book, a little disclaimer, first of all, I don't read romance. I used to not read romance. Now, I will kind of double in it. So I had the thought, as I said, I'm an author, and I had the thought of, what if I wrote a romance? You know, why am I so against writing about love? You know, so I thought to myself, okay, in order to know the genre, in order to write a romance book that has the expectations met for a reader of a romance book, I will need to know what goes in a romance book. I'll just need to know what's good. I need to know what about a romance book gets to people. You know, why do they want to pick it up? So I decided, all right, I'll do it. I'll read a romance book. I picked up, it's actually a Christian romance book. It's called Pieces of Forever by Valerie Bodden. I believe I'm saying that right. I don't know. Anyway, that was a great book. I smashed through it. I read it as an ebook. I smashed through it. It spoke a lot to me. I think it was this beautiful story about this, I guess it's like a second chance romance kind of thing. That's a trope of the romance genre. And the girl has been scarred on her face from a fire or something. She used to be this beautiful girl, and the boyfriend that she had in high school, she breaks up with him after this accident. Something happens where they are separated for a while. He comes back and buys out the vet clinic in the small town. I'm really doing a shocking job at explaining this, aren't I? Fire out. Anyway, long story short, he still loves her. He never stopped loving her, and the scars she got doesn't stop him from loving her even more. Like, it's this beautiful story of coming together, being loved, really loved, true love, and it was just beautiful. So, great book. Okay. I don't want you to think I'm a liar. Okay. I may have another romance on this list, but relax, I'm not a liar, all right? I don't read romance, but this was a good book, okay? I don't know why I felt like reading it. It was, again, Khalila D, one of my favorite booktubers. She recommended When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This book is a great book. If you're gonna read a romance, it's smut-free. There's I guess it's a bit like tension. The tension's there, but it's very good, very clean, and it's just so cozy and sweet. The guy owns a pie shop, you know. She's coming into this small town. She's stuck there. It's just a really sweet book. Like, it's really nice the way that she wrote the characters, like the surrounding supporting characters, like the guy's sisters and this old lady named Mabel. Like, she's really nosy, actually, but like just so headstrong, just so like, what are you doing? Like, just, you know what to do. Just that elderly confidence. I don't know how else to explain that, but anyway. So that was a great book. Next, okay. This year I got married, and in preparation of that, I read this awesome book by Stormie Omartian. I think that's how you say her name. It's called The Power of a Praying Wife. Christian novel. Fantastic read. I really enjoyed this book because it just dissected all the things that you might not even think about that your husband would need protecting over. Really anyone, to be honest, but obviously as a wife you've been given that person is your person to be a helper to. And so yeah, this was, if you're out there and interested in that, that's a great read. Now, Shari Lapena. Some people call her Shari Lapena or Lapena or something. I call her Shari Lapena. I don't know how to actually say her name. Anyway, we've got 2 books that I read, which I'm morphing into one. The Couple Next Door and Everyone Here Is Lying. 5 stars. Actually, I preferred The Couple Next Door to Everyone Here Is Lying, but great. Suspense, smashed them out. They were great. My next book is maybe surprising. I read Divergent by Veronica Roth. I hadn't read that book ever. In high school, it was one of those books. It was like The Hunger Games. It was like Fallen, it was like Hush Hush, it was like the dystopian teenage whatever era of books. Divergent was one of them, and like Maze Runner and all that, and I've never read it until now, and for some reason I got this random urge. I think my husband and I watched the movie, and it just, I was like, I want to read this book. I want to know how they created this out of the book, you know, because I was so curious. I was like, how did you create action and things like that? All right, I get how you can do that in a movie. You got the visual effects, you've got everything, but how did you do that in a book, you know? And that being their source material, I was like, how did you do it? So yeah, I decided to read that. I loved it. I smashed that one out too. That was a great read. Now, the next book that I read that was one of my favorites it's a middle grade, actually. As a little bit of backstory, I am currently working on a middle grade junior fiction novel for 8 to 12 year olds, and so I kind of just wanted to get in the mindset of it. I wanted to just see what kids like, you know. And this was an award-winning book. The book that I'm about to mention, and yeah. So this book is called Road Trip Rescue by Becca Wierwille. It was a great read, and it's a Christian middle grade. Like it's not like a whole preachy book, but it's just like little elements of God in there, like just the main character saying like, wow, look at God's creation, like things like that. It's just sweet. It's great. It was really great messages in there. Great if you want to read it yourself. Like C.S. Lewis has a saying that basically says that the best children's novels should be liked by adults also, something along those lines. But this was one of those books. This book reminded me of that quote because I genuinely enjoyed the book, and I'm an adult. And I recommended it to a friend of mine for her daughter, and the daughter ate it up as well. So, great novel. Now, this book, I loved this book. This book was just it was like a sweet hug. It was just nice. It was entertaining. It was fun. It's called Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I read this as an audiobook. I loved it. I'm not sure if I would feel differently if I read it as a physical copy, but I loved this book. It was so fun. The characters I loved the little family that they kind of created, and it was Vera Wong is hilarious. And what made it even better is that I found out the author's coming out with a second one next year, and so I'm excited for that. That was a great read. That was a 5-star. Finally, my number 10. Okay, these ones I actually have with me, so let's have a look. Number 1 is The Four Winds by Kristin Hanna. Honestly, all right, let's get serious. It took me a little bit to get into this book. It took me at the start. I needed a little bit to get into this book. I don't know why. I guess I've been smashing out like mysteries, thrillers, and anything like a bit heavier I've been listening to as an audiobook. So this took me a little bit to just get into, because I haven't been getting into any contemporary heavy fiction. This is a historical fiction. I haven't gotten into this in a while, you know, but once I was in. I was locked in. Even the writing's small, but like, hold on. The writing's small. Even that. Look, for me to read a thick book with small ass writing, mate, and me to reach the end, that's a good book. That is a good book. So good in fact, that I had to go ahead and get myself another one from the author. I had to get a second book from her. It's called Wild, and I like this one even more than I like this one. This book, oh my goodness, I read it recently, as in like I just finished it yesterday. This book, I absolutely love this book. The way that she writes the dialogue, the way that she writes the characters, the way that she writes everything, the plot, the little subplots, I love it. From a writer perspective and from a reader perspective, I love this book. Please read this book. Like, it is so beautiful. It's so great. I also love the fact that this author, she actually writes about topics and themes that matter, and just relationships, and just really gets down to feelings, and she knows how to dissect things. She really knows how to set up her characters. She really knows how to make you really see what's going on in this character's life and where they're at from the start of the book. And you just follow them along. Like, you're right in there. So, 8 stars, this book. I don't know why I picked 8, but that's there. As a little bonus, I just wanted to add, surprise, surprise, the book I'm reading now is another Kristin Hannah. Another Life is what it's called. I'm 1 chapter in. I've got this awesome bookmark that I don't know why I love it so much. It's literally just houses, but I love it very much. Anyway, started off great so far. I'm expecting to get the same feeling as I have from the last 2 books. But yeah, that is those are my favorite books of 2000. Those are my favorite books of 2024. Highly recommend that you check them out. I will leave them in the description box below. And yeah, thank you so much. I will update you guys on this book when I finish that. I just felt so awkward there. That chick was there. Her dog was trying to pee behind me and felt very awkward. But anyway, it's fun. Hey, we got through the video. And people are only coming now. But I'm already done. That's how mate, I'm already a professional. Look at this. Anyway, Instagram, website, all below. Follow, subscribe, everything. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.